Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to go over a package that got recommended to me. It is called BatchGetSymbols. Now if you're trying to download stock data from Yahoo Finance, this package allows you to download data in a batch, which might be useful if you're downloading multiple tickers at a time. So this is the package name, and I'm also going to require a few other packages. So I'm going to load up the tickers that I want. Alright, so this is the function we're going to require to download the batch of tickers. It's called BatchGetSymbols, and here are the parameters. So again, I'm going to insert the tickers here, adjust the first date and last date accordingly. It has this useful function that's going to match the dates of each ticker to the S&P 500. So for each stock, if the dates don't match at least 75%, it'll drop them. And for each of the stocks, you'll get a return. So here you will specify if you want simple or log returns. The frequency will be daily. How to aggregate will be last. And the last two parameters are just to fill in the missing prices and whether I want complete data. So I'll go ahead and run this. Alright, so you'll see some output in your console, and I'll go over what these mean. So the first thing that downloads is the S&P 500, and then you'll see your tickers being called in. And here you'll see the numeration, so 1 out of 14 tickers, 2 out of 14, and so on. Not cached means that it didn't find a file. Now whenever you download data from Yahoo Finance, it'll save a cache, so that next time you run it, it doesn't take as long. So that's why it saves it here. And here we see that for Apple, we got 100% of valid prices and a message regarding the data. So it says 100% of valid prices, well done. If we take a look at this ticker, it only found 73% of valid prices. So it dropped it because there's not enough data since my threshold is 75%. So let me clear the console. We can also output the ticker summary by running data $DF control. This will get you a summary of all the tickers that you called in. So I believe this is the number of rows. A 1 symbolizes it got 100% of the data, so we kept it. And you can briefly see which ones were actually left out. So let's try and rerun this by adjusting the threshold. So here I'll change this to 50%. So I'll go ahead and run that. So if we look at our console, now it says that it found a cache file. And if we take a look at the DF control, we see that more tickers are kept because my threshold got lowered. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to extract the actual prices and the price data. So since data is a list, all we need to run is as data frame, data $DF tickers. So if we take a look at the actual data, we have 47,000 rows and 10 columns. So here we see the ticker, the date, the open, high, low, and the close, the volume, the adjusted price, the returns of the adjusted close, and the returns of the actual closing price. So I'm going to go ahead and change the column names for easier handling by running this line. All I'm doing is just capitalizing open, high, low, close, the V in volume, and the A in adjusted, so that we can use some of the TTR's functions to call data. It's just going to make it easier. So I'll go ahead and run that line. Now since we have everything grouped together, and say you want to calculate some indicators, you may do so by subsetting the data by ticker and then running whatever indicator you want. So in this case, I'm just going to calculate some VWAP for different periods. So I have the 20, 50, 100, and 200 day VWAPs. So again, I'm just subsetting the data frame by the ticker, calculating the indicators, and then returning that data. So I'll go ahead and run that block. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rbind list. Since DF is actually a list, this will turn it back into a data frame. And if we take a look at DF, so say you want to extract a certain column for each of the tickers. In this case, I'm just going to extract the adjusted price. So again, I'm just going to subset by ticker. I'm going to extract the date and the adjusted price. So here, just change it to whatever column you're trying to extract. I'm going to convert that into an XCS object. And then I'm going to reformat the column name so that I know what ticker this is for. And that's all you really have to do. So if I run this block to get the adjusted prices, it'll return a list. So now I'm going to use do_call_merge to merge all the prices together, and I'm going to exclude any NAs. So that if we take a look at ADJ, now we have an XCS object with the adjusted prices for each of the tickers we called. And you can see how easy it is to insert and extract columns from the main data frame with all the data. So this concludes this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.